All right, let's get right into it. When most people hear the word blockchain, their mind probably jumps to one thing, right? Like Bitcoin or maybe some kind of digital money. But here's the thing. That's like looking at a single planet and completely missing the entire galaxy it's in. The reality is we are absolutely not heading towards a single unified blockchain future. No way. We're hurtling towards a blockchain multiverse, a wild, fragmented, and really fascinating universe of digital trust. And today, we're going to draw the map.
But first, to really get why this multiverse even has to exist, we've got to ask a really basic question about the internet itself. Think about it. Why can you copy and paste a photo a million times for free, but you can't just copy and paste a digital dollar? Well, the answer is that the internet, at its very core, is a giant copying machine. It's designed to copy information perfectly and endlessly. And while that's amazing for sharing photos and articles, for anything with actual value, it's a fatal flaw. And this right here, this is what the experts call the double spending problem. I mean, if there's no referee, what's to stop someone from spending the same digital coin over and over and over again? It would be total chaos, and the money would become worthless instantly. For decades, the only answer we had for this was a middleman, a bank, basically, someone to keep the one true official record. And the quest to solve this problem without a middleman, well, that's the origin story of blockchain.
So, how did we get here? How did we go from relying on these huge, powerful institutions to building a machine that could just create trust out of math? It's a pretty amazing journey, and it started long before most of us had ever even heard of cryptocurrency.
Let's be honest, the old model, the one we still use every single day, it has some pretty serious weaknesses built right in. You've got single points of failure, right? If the bank server goes down, the whole system just stops. Then there are the costs and the delays that get tacked onto everything. And here's the big one, control. They can decide to censor a transaction, and at the end of the day, you have to trust them with your assets. This is the exact set of problems that the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto set out to solve.
Now, here's something that might surprise you. The core idea of a blockchain is actually much, much older than Bitcoin. We're talking 1991. Two researchers, Haber and Stornetta, were trying to figure out how to prove a digital document hadn't been messed with. And their solution? A cryptographically secured chain of blocks. They even started publishing a weekly code, a hash, in the New York Times, which technically makes it the oldest running blockchain in the world. So the technology was there. It just needed someone to combine it with a peer-to-peer network and a real economic incentive.
And that is exactly what Satoshi did in 2008. This one sentence from the Bitcoin white paper, it just captures the entire revolutionary spirit. The goal was to cut out the middleman completely, to create a system where value could move as freely as an email, but without any possibility of cheating.
Okay, so we've got the why. We know the mission. But how does this machine actually work? How does it manage to create trust from nothing but math and code? Let's pop the hood and take a look.
It really all comes down to three powerful ideas working together. First, it's decentralized. So instead of one company holding the master record book, thousands of copies are spread all over the world. Second, it's secured by cryptography. Think of this like a digital tamper-proof wax seal that proves who owns what and verifies every single transaction. And third, it's immutable. Once a transaction is written down in that record book, it can never, ever be changed or erased. These three pillars create a system where you don't have to trust anyone because you can verify everything for yourself. So how is that immutability actually enforced? Well, the secret is right there in the name, blockchain. Each new block of transactions doesn't just hold the transactions, it also holds a unique digital fingerprint, a hash, of the block that came right before it. This creates a cryptographic chain. So if anyone tried to go back and alter even one tiny detail in an old block, its fingerprint would change and it would break the entire chain that followed. The whole network would immediately spot the fraud and reject it. It's this beautiful, simple idea that makes the history totally tamper-proof. But wait, if nobody's in charge, how does this whole network agree on which block to add next? Well, that's the job of something called a consensus mechanism. And the two main types, they represent this huge split in philosophy. You've got proof of work, which Bitcoin uses. Think of it like a competitive race where miners burn massive amounts of energy to solve a complex puzzle. Its security is literally anchored in the physical cost of electricity. Then you've got proof of stake, which Ethereum now uses. This is more like a lottery. Validators lock up their own money as a form of collateral for the chance to be chosen. Its security is anchored in economic cost, having skin in the game. One is battle-tested and secure, but slow and power-hungry. The other is fast and efficient, but newer. And this trade-off is a huge reason why one size will never fit all.
And that brings us right to the heart of this whole thing. All of those trade-offs, all those different design choices, they aren't leading us to one perfect blockchain. Not at all. They are creating a multiverse. So let's explore what that actually means.
For years and years, the big dream in this space was this idea of a single world computer. One universal blockchain that could handle everything for everyone. It's a really cool idea, but is it even realistic?
The answer is a pretty definitive no. The search for that one, single, all-purpose blockchain, it's just a dead end. The future of trust isn't singular, it's plural. It is a multiverse of specialized interconnected chains.
And why is that? Well, it's because of a fundamental engineering problem that's known as the blockchain trilemma. You can basically think of it like a law of physics for these systems. You get to pick two of these three things: security, how hard it is to attack, scalability, or speed, and decentralization, meaning no one's in charge. The trilemma says you can be great at any two, but you can never, ever have all three at the same time. Want more speed? You probably have to sacrifice some decentralization. Want it to be secure like Fort Knox? It's probably going to be slow. And this trilemma guarantees that different chains have to make different choices and specialize for different jobs.
We are already seeing this specialization happening in a huge way with the split between what we call layer 1s and layer 2s. Layer 1s, like the main Ethereum network, are focusing on being that super secure, super decentralized, but kind of slow foundational settlement layer, the bedrock. Then you have layer 2s, which are built right on top of them. They handle almost all of the day-to-day activity, they're lightning fast, they're super cheap, and they just borrow their security from that rock-solid foundation below them. This isn't just a temporary fix, it's a fundamental shift in architecture. The multiverse isn't coming, it's already here. So, if the future really is this fragmented multiverse of chains, how are we supposed to think about it? The old world-computer metaphor is broken. We need a new map. I think the best way to visualize this new world is as a vast archipelago of trust. It's not one giant, unified continent. It's a diverse and interconnected chain of thousands of digital islands, each with its own laws, its own culture, and its own unique purpose. In this archipelago, the big layer 1s are like the mountainous mainlands. They're secure, they're stable, they are the bedrock of the entire system. The layer 2s are the sprawling city islands connected to them. They're fast, they're cheap, they're bustling with activity. This is where most people are going to live and work. Then you have the private enterprise chains. Think of them like exclusive, gated communities for certain industries. And finally, you've got countless specialized ADLs, sovereign app chains, each one perfectly fine-tuned for a single purpose, like a game or a marketplace. Now, seeing the world as this archipelago reveals what's really, truly important for the future. It's not about which island is the best. The most critical, the most valuable infrastructure in this entire new world will be the bridges, the interoperability protocols that let value and information flow seamlessly and securely between all of these different islands. And that, right there, is the key takeaway. The future of digital trust isn't about building one single continent that everyone has to live on. That ship has sailed. Success is going to belong to the architects and the engineers who figure out how to build the secure, reliable bridges that connect this vibrant, diverse, and constantly growing multiverse. The foundations of this new digital world, these islands of specialized trust, they're being built right now at a furious pace. But the next great frontier, the multi-trillion-dollar question that is going to define the next decade of this technology is, who will build the bridges to connect them all?